We don't have enough time, so we're going to jump into it. We don't have enough time with this guy because I could talk to him for his 688 NHL games. Stanley Cup champion for the Montreal Canadiens. Played with the New York Rangers, Boston Bruins as well. Chris Knuckles Nilan joins us. Do we have him? And best known for having the best-looking father-in-law in the league. How you doing, Knuckles?
Apparently, yeah. Best looking, I don't know, but
well, you said he looks just like me.
Yeah, I know. You could be twins.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how's the summer, man? Looks like you've been gallivanting all over the place. Are you ready for hockey season yet, or what's been going on?
Yeah, I'm getting there. You know, I'm not quite done traveling. I'm heading out to see my father-in-law in Montana, and we're gonna do some camping and fishing out in Yellowstone. So I'm looking forward to that. We're leaving this Friday, and then when I get back from there, the Canadiens golf tournament is the next day when I return, and I'll do that, and then hockey season's upon us.
Well, I'll tell you what, Knuckles, we don't talk enough Montreal Canadiens on this show, and you're the only guy I want to talk to about that. I mean, you and Bob Marriott, but you're a little more non-biased. So give me a reason why the Habs won't finish dead last in the Atlantic Division, because frankly, that's where I have them, man.
Yeah, listen, I think that's up for debate. There's no question about it. They have such a good young prospect pool. They have that young core that has been there a couple of years now. And it's how all them other pieces are going to fall into place. I think certainly Hughes and Gorton have done a hell of a job in starting to retool this thing. And do I think they'll make the playoffs? No. Do I think the biggest step for this team this year is to be more consistent in their play. You know, some games they looked good last year, and then, boy, there'd be a stretch where they were just so out of it. But I think this year they should strive to be more consistent as a group and see a more team play, a better team on the ice playing. Now, dead last in that division, possibility, but I happen to think they're going to surprise some people.
Well, and I guess my point is I don't think they're bad. I just think they're exceptionally young, and they're still young. All over the ice at every position, man. They're going to take their lumps, but I guess my point is how many lumps do they take? Because you know that, where you said they go missing for a few games, that's a sign of youth, right?
Yeah, no question. But, you got to, again, some guys have some time under their belt here, too, some of them young guys. You'll get Caulfield, Suzuki. All right, you got Josh Anderson, some of the older guys, Monahan, Doc certainly came into his own last year. I think they were brilliant the way they used him. They started him out on wing. He got his confidence going. Then they moved him over to center. He played some center right. So, they have some decent veterans there to kind of, help prop up and support those young guys. And on the D end, they're looking good. I mean, Gooley, if he's healthy, he looked like a seasoned vet out there. Jordan Harris has come along. You got Jack Guy. And you got some of those young guys that might surprise and they might plop into the lineup this year. Logan Mailloux, right? He's been cleared to play. He got a shot. You look up front. They got Farrell, Sean Farrell, Owen Beck, that kid, Philip Messa, the other Czech, Justin Barron on the back end, David Reinbacher. They have so many good prospects. Consistency is what I think this team got to strive for this year, and certainly developing and keeping an eye on some of them younger kids and getting them the playing time so they become more accustomed to what it's like to play at this level, night in and night out, and be able to, if you have one bad game in 10, okay, but you can't afford to have 2, 3, 4 and let it go. So, I like what I see.
That's kind of my point. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're young. Now,
I know
Yuri Slafkovsky. Yeah, Yuri Slafkovsky. He's still number one overall guy in your mind? Like, what do you expect out of him in year two?
People forget he's an 18-year-old kid. He's been living on his own since he's been 16, in his own apartment. I think he's a mature kid for his age. It's going to take him some time. But here's a big winger with lots of talent. And, his first year, he got hurt. I just think it's going to take him time to develop. And they want to do it here. They want him in the NHL. He has certainly the size and the speed to play at this level. Now he's got to get accustomed to how to play hockey in this league, smaller rink. And, he made some stride last year. I think he's only going to get better. First overall pick, you can argue that all day. Who's better? Should they got Wright? I mean, look where Wright is now. And not that he's going to be a bust. It's going to take time for these young kids. The expectations are so high. People forget that they're 18 years old and they need time to get accustomed to the league.
That's why you need to be on the air and have an influence in Montreal, because if there's any market, there's the pressure. More than anywhere else in any league, it's Montreal. We know that, right? And people need to be told to just back off.
No question.
How about Martin St. Louis? Today's player is different. Is he the guy? Does he know how to handle him better than anybody else?
Honestly, there's not one player I've talked to that just does not believe in what this guy presents them with. He challenges them. I talked to Pizzetta at length, and I asked him about the coach, and he said that a lot of coaches I played for, they kind of simplified the game for me. Get the puck out off the boards, just knock it by the D-man, get it in deep and chase. And Marty, I guess, is trying to give this kid some confidence that, listen, there's not only one play when you get the puck. You have to be able to do other things with the puck, not just bang it off the board. You got to look to make a play, get your feet moving, get going, look to make a play. I mean, there was a day, if you didn't dump the puck in when you were supposed to, you get your ass pinned to the bench. There was a day, if you didn't get the puck out on the wall, that one thing they wanted you to do, coming out of your own end of the rink, you'd get shit for it. But here's a guy trying to coach a player up and let him know that you can do more than just dump it in. You can do more than just bang it off the boards. And he tries to build confidence in guys like that. And the better players, certainly, I think he uses them at the right time. He understands what they need in this day and age. And I think every player I've talked to most of them, from Weidman to Suzuki to Caulfield, the whole slew of them. And they absolutely love what this guy teaches them and his approach to the game.
Knuckles, we're out of time, but I'll say a couple things to end it. One, that room that you're in right there is the nicest shrine I've ever been in anybody's house ever. You did a real nice job with it, so congrats. And number two, you can take the boy out of Boston. You can't take the whatever. I loved it. You can take the boy out of Boston. You can't take the Boston out of the boy. You'll like this story. Round 2, Stanley Cup playoffs last spring. The ushers here in South Florida at FLA Live Arena said, "What are we going to get with Leaf fans?" I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Well, we had to toss 37 Bruins fans out of the rink, drunk and disorderly last round. Are we going to get that with Leaf fans?" I said, "No. They're just annoying. They're not dangerous." And that's exactly what happened. So you guys from Boston, man, you make your presence known, eh?
Yeah, boy, there's one thing. You got alcohol and a Bruins fan, and it's not good.
Not good.
And not just Bruins fans, a lot of fans. I don't care whoever, Boston, Kings fan, anybody. You put the alcohol in the mix like they have in arenas, and people go overboard and they get too emotional about their team, over emotional.
Absolutely, but not in Montreal. All right, Knuckles, good seeing you. Safe travels to Montana, sir.
All right, thanks. Good to talk, Rod.
Good to see you. The great Chris Knuckles Nilan joining us from his home office